What is going on, everybody? Good morning. It is actually super early here in Arizona, but today we're going to be talking about how to prepare for a client meeting. Okay, so this is after you've already got past the gatekeeper. Maybe you've cold called somebody and they've agreed to meet with you. How do we actually prepare so then we have a higher close rate of being able to actually land that client? Because as you know, you don't just land the meeting and then automatically get the client. You still got to go to that meeting and close them. So let's roll the intro real fast and then let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another video, guys. My name is Elliot Drake, and if you're new to who it is that I am, I'm the founder of landclients.com as well as House of Influence, which is my paid media agency. And this channel is all about how to start and grow your very own online business and specifically social media marketing, because that's what I do. So yeah, guys, if you're new, just make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the little like button on this video. Turn on notifications so you can see whenever I post. We've been on a pretty awesome streak. We've been posting every day recently, and we're just trying to really grow this thing. So anyways, let's jump right into it. So one of the most important things that I honestly credit, people get this wrong. Whenever you go into a meeting with a business owner, most people get really nervous. They're like, oh, I have to be super salesy. I have to, they just think it's a really big sales process, but it's actually the opposite. And what's worked for me is just genuinely trying to connect with people. So here in a second, I'm gonna go onto my computer screen and kind of do, just a live example with you of how I would prepare for, say, a local business client, which is a little bit easier. And then also I'll talk about more of the enterprise brands, because we're actually, House of Influence is preparing to pitch to a baseball team right now. And so that kind of it's a little bit different. It's a little tougher, but for most of you guys watching, you're just going to be going after the local businesses, the real estate agent and stuff like that. And so, like I said just a second ago, is just number one, don't go in there nervous. Go in there with the mind your brain should not be focused on sales. It shouldn't be yes, you want to sell them, obviously, but first what you want to do is you want to basically take their vitals, be like a doctor, because what we do is we solve problems. So every client is different, so we have to figure out first, what are their issues, what are they doing now, and what are they already doing that's really good, what are they doing that's not good, and how does that align with the service offering that I can provide to them, right? And that goes a long way in the meeting as well, is because if you go in there and try to just hard sell a business owner, a lot of them are going to pick that up, right? They want to work with people that they genuinely feel have their best interest at heart and are not trying to squeeze out their money, right? So let's jump into my computer right now and kind of go over. I have some notes that we can use to keep us on track. So let's jump right into it. All right, what's going on, guys? So let's make sure that we got audio's good. Here we go. All right, cool. So I just pulled up a couple of things. I found this this real estate group. So we're just going to use this as an example. So I have some notes here. So step one is, what you really want to do for step one is you want to see what the business is currently doing online and make some notes. You should always do your research, not do research on the business before you ever do it. So some examples is we go to their website. Do they have a pixel installed? Yes, which is great. And then the next thing that I would do, and this is just in the preparing stage, to kind of get a good understanding of what they're doing so far. Go to their page, and then I like to go to info and ads. Oh, they're not running ads. So that's one thing that I might have in a document. I might, create a note about that. No, they don't have a Facebook pixel. Maybe put a screenshot in there, because then during the meeting we can refer to the screenshot and talk a lot about, why they're not doing that. Another thing that I would figure out is, oh, are they already running Google ads? Say that, I'm trying to pitch them on Facebook ads here. Let's just use that as the example. Oh, they're using Google ads. So, that's one question. So put together some questions to ask them. Are they doing Google ads, right? figure that out. Yes or no, and then if so, like, are they happy with it, right? Just those types of things, okay? The next thing is like just to put together a list of really good questions that you need to understand from the business owner, because everybody's different, right? So if you go in there and trying to, tell them exactly, like instead of asking questions, you're trying to just tell them exactly what you want to do, it normally doesn't go over as well, because they want to feel like, things are personalized. So what I do is I always ask really good questions, ask them what they're currently doing, how they feel about the results. And then, normally if they're like, yeah, we're not really happy with what we're doing right now, I'll say, well, here's a case study from somebody else, that we've done this for, and they've gotten insane results. They're like, oh, great, wow, right? So we got right here, we've already talked about this. Figure out what they're already doing right, and figure out what they're doing wrong, and make a note of it, right? Put screenshots and stuff together from like the website. And then one other thing I like to do is I like to do research on the team. So we'll see here that John right here, he is the guy who's, I'm guessing, the decision maker, right? Maybe Jeremy too. But I like to do research on them. So like read right here. Let's find some insightful things. Growing up, John's father told him he could be anything he wanted except for a banker or a real estate agent, right? And he's a real estate agent. So like I would take that into note, and while I'm talking with them, I would maybe drop a little comment or something that about, sorry, my phone went off. Something about like my father, how like, he said that, I should be in the car business instead of the online business, but look, I'm in the online, advertising business, something like that, to find different connection points to where they feel like, it's relationships are all about finding like similarities where you can connect them. And so on this meeting, if we can do less about like just hard selling to try to get that sale and more building a relationship, that is going to, increase your conversion rates inside the meeting, because like getting people to buy is all about trust. So this is a great way to do that. Maybe even look up him on Facebook and add him on Facebook. They kind of see what he's about. So maybe you look at his personal page and see he loves golf. So then in the meeting you mention something about loving golf, or you know what I mean. Just like I just said, just finding those connection points, that is really going to help you. So like for local businesses, we don't have to put together these like crazy spreadsheets and all that stuff. Obviously if you don't have case studies, it's going to be much harder. And so in previous videos, I talk a lot about doing like a free trial for them for like 2 weeks, or 2 weeks is a really good, it's a good time frame to show them that you can get results. And then after that 2 weeks, if they're happy, then you close them as a client, right? And so that's what I would do if you don't have any previous case studies. But if you do, then, talk to them about their goals, ask really good questions, right? Figure out what they're doing right and wrong, add notes about that before the call. Put together a list of really good questions that you can ask them, right? To make them feel like you're actually like, figuring out what they need, instead of just saying, oh yeah, you need this, making it feel like it's personalized. And then 4 is I like to show them the process and how I work. So we spent a lot of time putting together lots of really good guides to make us look like a professional business and a professional agency. So like, I'm really big, you guys probably know it if you've been around the channel for a while, I'm big on a system and a process. So everything that my agency does has a system and a process, and new things we add, we're in the process of building a system and a process around how to do that, because people try to overcomplicate things way too much in the agency space. Like it's more about the least amount of things that you can do to get a desired result, and less about adding more things on. People try to add all these other things on thinking that's going to like make them more money and all this stuff, but it's really not the case. The simpler that you can make it, the better. So like what I'll do in the meeting is I'll say, yep, we run everybody through the 6-phase social amplification engine. I show them this like amazing little graphic. They love it. I'm like, yeah, this is just kind of like the overview. And then I talk about each phase. Like plumbing's like setting up all your tracking, which is, necessary first step. And then we go into your goals, which this goes also into the questions that you ask, like what are their goals for everything. And then content, that's like when you collect content from them. Targeting is whenever we, actually put in the targeting and the email list or whatever we're trying to achieve with the audience target. And then amplification is once we have the goals, content, and targeting together, then we start running ads, and then we optimize and tweak and to get the best KPIs and results, right? So I show that, and I really love that. And so our agency, we don't do the actual creative. So what I'll say is so we do some videos like this, and then I pull up some examples from previous clients normally. Or if you don't have previous clients, then maybe show some, example videos, but we'd like to have clients use 1-minute videos. So I show them this amazing guide, be like, we have we'll put together scripts for you and show you exactly how to make these videos. They're super simple and easy. I show them this, they love it. And this is a way to show professionalism. And then this is also the stage where I will, a lot of times show them, an example funnel of something that we would do for them after we've asked questions. After we've asked questions and figured out the problem that they need solved, and then I start showing them, things that we could do for them. I don't immediately say, we could do this. I always ask questions, build the relationship first by, finding those connection points, getting them to laugh, things of that nature to get them to trust me. And then I say, okay, given the things that I've asked you, I think that, something that you guys could really utilize is, this funnel, right? And then maybe I pull this up and I show an example of, a funnel like we have here. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, and then we show them how, we then go into maybe some case studies. So for example, here I'll just pull up a little deck right here. Here's a deck that I worked on with Ed Milet. Obviously it's a different niche of real estate. So if you have real estate one, then do that. But this is a great deck thing to show some results that we've gotten for other people. And I show them this stuff, right? Show them all this cool things. But yeah, so that's basically it. And then 6, the most important thing is to connect and build the relationship, allow them to get to know you, right? This is really it. This is what I put. This is what I credit to most of my closing success, because getting the meeting is the hardest part. Actually closing on the meeting, it's pretty easy. I probably have an 8 out of 10 close rate on meetings, which is, just because I just connect with people, build relationships. You don't have to take on every client. If you get on the call and they're already doing things to where your service offering, they don't need you, don't try to close them anyways, because you're going to lose them in a month, and then that hurts your reputation, because the reputation is the most important thing. So this is really all I do to prepare for smaller businesses. For example, I'm working with a baseball team, we're putting together a pitch for a baseball team. So I'll tell you the strategy we're actually doing. So we're getting an intro. We just got an intro with their CMO of the chief marketing officer. And so he's willing to hear what we say, because we have case studies from the Golden State Warriors when we've, the team and I have done work there previously whenever I worked for a big agency as freelance contractor, so we can legally use those case studies. So we're leveraging that case study to try to land this baseball team, right? But this is a lot harder close because it's corporate, it's all this cool stuff, right? So we're putting together a used iPad, right? So we're going to buy a used iPad, which we can buy them for $70. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a screen share video of case studies from the Golden State Warriors, some other sports teams, put that on the iPad, brand it to House of Influence in a box, and then ship it into them. And then on this, hey, here's kind of case studies. This is what we would like to do for you. If you're interested in this, then we'd love to come in and have a sit down meeting and talk about it. We know the season starts in just 4 weeks, so we don't have a lot of time. Here's how you can maximize revenue, moving forward for this upcoming season, right? That's kind of how we do it for big enterprise brands. That obviously, requires a lot more, in-depth stuff and everything than local business. Local businesses is just about diagnosing them, figuring out what is the simplest thing we can do for them to get them a desired result, and, building the relationship. And then it should be able to close, right? So just do your research, figure out who the people are, what they like, find connection points, show them some of your process, show them if you have previous results, show them the results, And yeah, I mean, that's basically it, right? Yeah, and then keep in mind, every client is different, all that good stuff, right? So I hope this helped you. I mean, this is just kind of quick. You know, people really try to overcomplicate it. It's not that complicated. It's just about doing your research, asking good questions, finding connection points, and then you're going to land the client. You know what I mean? So let's jump back over the camera. All right, guys, so really just to recap this video, all that for like smaller businesses, all it's about whenever you're trying to prepare for a meeting is figuring out what they're already doing, prepare some of your process and some previous case studies if you have them, do research on their team. Normally they have their team on their website, so then you can see like, okay, maybe they like golf, or, find different connection points that you can use to spark up a conversation. The conversation should not just only be like, okay, we can do this, this, and this for you, and it's this much. It should be more of like, hey, how are you doing? Like, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, telling your story, opening up, allow them to trust you. Then be like, yeah, so I see you're doing this. I see you're already running, say, like, this is an example, like improv. I see you're already running Google ads. How is that? Are you liking the results from it? And then, take notes, be a good listener. Have you ever tried Facebook ads? You know what I mean? Have you ever tried Facebook ads? Things of that nature. What's your average close rate? Are you looking to have more, we're talking real estate agents, are you looking to have more buyer leads, or are you looking to have more seller leads? We actually specialize in helping people get seller leads because we know it's the hardest to get. We've had a proven system on how to do it. Here's kind of a case study of one of our previous clients that's super happy with the results we've driven, right? Asking you questions, building connection points, and then at the end, stating your price. And then one thing important to add at the end of a meeting, like whenever you give your price, most people try to hurry up and justify it. This is one thing that I learned this year that is like so lethal. Whenever you're giving your pitch, your pitch to them, like first the part of the meeting is really just diagnosing, figuring out what they're already doing, what they really need, showcasing what you do, some of your process, some of your case studies, and then at the very end, they're like, okay, so how much is it for you to do this thing for me? And most people, they'll give the price and then say, we charge, say, $2,000 a month, but it's because we do like all these different things, and they just immediately start talking about all the stuff to justify the number, but really that hurts it. What you need to do is you need to give the number and just be silent. The first person to talk after giving the price loses. It's just how it goes. I'm dead ass, dead serious, sorry. It's just really it. So just try that in your pitches. Try being silent after giving the price, and I promise you, it's going to really change your life. Sometimes it's hard. You might have to use the mute button and just not talk. But whenever you give the price, their brain is racing. What they're thinking is okay, can we make this add up here? Can we do that? And so if you talk to try to justify it, it's throwing their brain off to where they're not actually going to think about it and give you the answer. You see what I'm saying? So just try that in your business. I hope this helped, guys. Let me know other videos you guys would like to see on the channel. Just comment those down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching. This has been Elliot Drake. See you guys tomorrow for the next one. Peace.